create your own reality. You are the number one person in your life who can actually make any grand changes. All of us, since we were kids, we had visions on how our life would be. We had a strong imagination that brought vivid detail into the thoughts that we had. And we had childlike wonder and curiosity about how we could, let's say, live our lives. At some point, you became an adult and you lost a lot of that vigor in your imagination. You know, it becomes tough to even think about creating your own reality because we're in a time where everybody's so distracted. But I'm dead serious, and I'm actually a very strong living example of what I'm telling you right here. That you can create your own reality. You are a creator. You know? Why do you think you have the thoughts that you have? Nobody can see the way that you look at the world. Nobody was raised to have the same exact occurrences in their life as you. Nobody looks exactly like you. You know? And the thing that's so beautiful about being alive is that you can actually create your own personality. You can create a new string of income. You can create something creative. I know it sounds funny, but you can create something that benefits other people in the world due to your own creativity, your own inner knowing. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to drive home the point that if there's anything in your life that you don't feel like is serving you, it's time for you to omit it, adjust, and forge ahead with what you want out of your life. All right, so I got some talking points here that I just want to stress on to really drive home that point that you can create your own reality. And honestly, it behooves you to do so. So first point is change is constant. Ups and downs are inevitable, but determining what you want with a clear picture is the first step. Uncertainty equals subpar outcomes. The universe cannot manifest vague desires. So what do I bring this up for? If you guys have been following my channel, you've heard numerous things that I've, let's say, taken on where I was thinking one way about accomplishing something that would put me in a better position. And I was very, like, let's say, I was very aware of what I wanted and why. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no vagueness in what I want from the world because I understand the more detail it is and the more I play with it in my mind's eye and feel it and experience it as if it's already happening, it's pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to get it. I know exactly, let's say, for example, where I am now. I determined, hey, this is the type of life I want to live. Then I started breaking down, all right, how would I finance that? What jobs would be suitable for me to, let's say, make money in this country and then still be able to leave and ultimately make money in another country and maybe I have property in that other country where I'm renting it out while I'm away. I know that sounds like very far-fetched, but this is what I want. I'm very clear about that. So now here I am in the profession that I originally thought would be a supplemental way for me to make that money to finance all this stuff. Now I'm actually in my first job in a solid company and everything is going smoothly. You know what I mean? So it's like I wouldn't have even been able to get to this point if I wasn't able to determine what the hell I want and actually be like specific about it. Number two kind of ties in with what I was saying a second ago. Believe that you already have what you want and the law of attraction will work for you. Trust the unseen process. Calmly know everything is underway. Daily actions equal power. It doesn't matter what you want. All right. I'll give you an example of something that I maybe don't have, but I still program my subconscious mind to already accept that it is a reality for me. For example, what I tell myself often is that I am rich. And for all intents and purposes, I am. If you actually think about the average person maybe struggling with bills, I don't struggle with bills. I haven't since I was like in my teenage years. Number two, all right, they blow money on like luxuries, but don't have enough money left over to take care of necessities. That's what puts them in that bind where they're living paycheck to paycheck, and they're like antsy every single time they're about to get paid because a couple of days before they ran out of money, and maybe they need to call people here left and right and actually borrow money and stuff like that. See, this is already something that I don't suffer from, you know. So what do rich people do? Well, rich people invest. Well, I invest. Well, rich people, take care of their health. Well, I take care of my health. Well, rich people dedicate their life to lifelong learning because they understand that the more you know, the more you can, let's say, remain sharp and participate in things that maybe the average person isn't aware of because they don't have the insight. Whereas you've been developing that insight by reading, learning, constantly expanding your horizon. So when something comes, you might immediately recognize that, wow, that's a viable option. That's a great opportunity. Like that's the wave of the future. Whereas the next person is more consumed with nonsense. They're not expanding like you are. So they might not even recognize the opportunity because they're not able to read the signs. So if you believe that you already have something and then you actually take daily steps to get there, like I do, I believe I'm rich already, then I take the daily steps of reading, writing, learning more of my profession, understanding the developments of the stock market, and I'm also planning for the future. Like these things are gonna result in me being rich because I already believe I am. And I'm taking the steps daily, following what rich people do, avoiding what poor people do. Come see me in 10 years and find out if I'm rich. Like, I know I am. I already am. Like, that's what I'm saying. Believe what you want is already in your possession, and, like, the rest is history. Keep a vigilant watch over your thoughts and where your attention is focused. The subconscious mind records all. Your energy dictates what comes into and what is repelled from your life. Drama brings more drama. Negativity breeds more of the same. So this is where I want all y'all to think about how you talk to yourself. Do you make a mistake and go, damn, I'm an idiot? I mean, stop doing that because your brain does not know in that moment. Your subconscious is still recording, I'm an idiot. And if you don't ever have positive seeds that you're planting into your mind to actually counter all this negative stuff that you say in passing, or when you're joking, or when you're maybe arguing with your girl and she maybe says a bunch of shit and then you appeasing her by admitting, yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, I am arrogant. Yeah, I am da da da. Like, no, you don't do that shit, bro. Don't talk ever negative about yourself because your subconscious records all. Watch your self-talk. Another thing is also where your attention is focused. How many times have I just been chilling, looking left and right in a train or reading a book in a cafe, and I just see everybody is just on their phone? I know this is something I've said in numerous videos. Who gives a shit? I know it doesn't bother me. Like, my life is still going to go forward. I am rich. I'm going to be rich. I am a world traveler. I will see 50 fucking countries. Like, all this stuff I already know in my head, so I could care less about people staring at their phone. They're just going further away from their own destiny. But the fact that I'm aware of my attention and how powerful it is, I don't like to let it just dissipate into something aimless like scrolling Facebook. You see? So now that I'm aware of that and I keep a vigilant watch, that means I'm following the third law of create my own reality, right? The fourth one is going to be remain grounded in the now, since it is the only true reality. The past already formed and influences your following present. Plus, the future is unknown. Your strength comes from visualizing your desires while believing they're already yours, simultaneously dwelling in the current moment and focusing on what's in your control. This is a stoicism, or one of the pillars of stoicism right here, is basically diverting all your attention only on the things that you can control, and accepting, and I'm not going to say ignoring, but basically accepting the things that you cannot. So just stay in the present moment. You don't need to be over here fidgeting and worrying about 6 months from now. You don't even know if you'll be alive. You have no control over the events that are going to happen in 6 months. You also don't have no control about stuff that already happened in the past. You over here tripping about your childhood, how you were raised, maybe the fact your dad wasn't in your life, your mom maybe was this, your cousin left you hanging here in 2004. Who gives a shit? Like, this stuff is so old and it's holding you back. You need to let go of what you can't control, ignore it, make peace with it, and focus on what is in your control. That's the reason why I see so many people who take up arms and get heated about stuff like, oh, Israel, oh, whatever scandal just came out through the mass media, oh, this football team is against this football team. People invest all that emotion into that stuff because it makes them feel better knowing that they actually have inner demons that they still have yet to conquer. It feels easier to sit there and talk about Israel or Palestine or the war here, Ukraine, Russia, like, to get all emotionally invested in that. But then when the real questions come, nigga, when's the last time you worked out? See, now the person can't run and look here and look there. They have to focus on themselves. And I know the answer to most of these questions is going to be no. When's the last time you work out? Do you work out? Probably no. When's the last time you cleaned up your basement? When's the last time you checked your how your family was doing? When's the last time you learned something new? When's the last time you read a new book? When's the last time you see the skills or the list of things that I question myself about? That stuff keeps me so busy, I don't give a shit about no football team. I'm not about to be having a whole heated debate about Israel. I'm not about to be staring at the nightly news, like the news every single night, really giving a damn about any of the stuff they telling me, because I don't have no control over all that stuff that's happening on TV. And I also know it's manipulated. So focus on the now. Focus on what's in front of you. What do you want? If you think about all where I'm going with these points, by the time you get here, you see, it's telling you be in the now. Don't let your mind drift to the future where you don't know what's going to happen. And don't let your mind go to the past, which is already in stone. The only thing that matters is right now. Raise your frequency and embody the characteristics of the version of yourself that aligns with what you want. In other words, be the change that you want to see. Be the change that you want to see. Accept that you already are something. All right. So if you want a more athletic body, well, I don't see how you're going to do it without diet, exercise, wearing sporty apparel, and kind of looking like the part, looking the part. If you want to have more money, I don't understand how you can do that without listing your expenses, without budgeting, without learning how to invest, and without developing your financial literacy. Oh, you want to be smarter? Well, maybe it helps if you actually cut back on so much entertainment and start focusing on subjects that interest you. Maybe you start reading more, doing more crossword puzzles, playing Sudoku. Maybe you sign up for online courses. Like, all these things are now boosting you and making it more likely that you're actually going to be exactly what you say you want, or how you're raising your frequency to match that of what you're trying to become. It goes back, is what I'm saying. Everything is flowing together. There was one segue. There was one show I was watching one time where they were selling high-end real estate, like penthouses and real fancy buildings of the like, And there was one part where there was a professional basketball game, and the dude who was trying to sell a penthouse, he needed to meet with one of the developers who was at that game, and he kind of didn't really care about the real estate agent's desire to come and pitch this deal. So he just told him, hey, if you want to come talk to me, I'm going to be at this game. Long story short, the dude showed up at the game, but he didn't really have access to where they were. But he looked real dapper with his suit, tie, hair was, slicked back. He looked like a boss. He carried himself as if he already belonged to be back there. And guess what? Nobody stopped him. And there was one part where somebody on the show asked him, hey, how were you able to get all the way back there even though you didn't have access? And he said, if you basically look like the boss, you look like a leader, you look like you know where you're going, most people are going to get out of your way. And that's kind of what I'm saying right here is like raise the frequency to match that of what you're expecting. Like, I want to be, this is how I picture myself. Like, let's say at 50. All right. Right now I'm 38. So I got 12 years to make this real. This is how I see my life. Well, first of all, I got properties in different countries. Second, I am a millionaire because I'm going to be a millionaire by 2030. That's already my plan. I already feel like it's coming. Everything is happening the way it's supposed to. So I'll already be a millionaire when I'm 50. Another thing is I'll look great. I'll be in awesome shape. I may have one or two kids. Me and my wife will still be together. And I will have, by that time in 12 years, I probably will have seen at least 20 more countries. I can see it crystal clear. So now I have a pressure every day that I'm just sitting here. I have a pressure to act as if, to carry myself with a high level of decorum, to be sophisticated, have class, to read certain books, to be well versed in many topics, to get proficient at my new job, which is the industry that's going to supplement a lot of the stuff that I just explained that I want to reach. All right. You really can't lose if you making a roll like this. And my last point is going to be remove all fears, doubts, worries, and naysayers. The world is fully abundant, so ignore influences of scarcity and lack. Remember, your subconscious mind is a collective database of your thoughts, experiences, habits, feelings, actions, and core beliefs. Your subconscious mind is guiding your whole entire life. So, A, B equals C. Subconscious mind controls my whole life. I reprogram my subconscious minds with power and all the stuff that I just talked about in the other points. End result is that my whole reality will reflect it. There you have it. That's the mental alchemy we talk about, all right? So like, comment, subscribe. I'll let you on the next one.